So this channel is all about becoming free, becoming sovereign. And one of the biggest assets we have in terms of freedom, but also it could be the biggest blockage or the biggest cage that we live in, is our identity or our self-perception. What do we know about reality? The crazy thing about reality is that we can simply mold it or shift it based off of changing how we see something. I could look at a struggle that I have in my life and I could shift it and see all the good that I can take from it, see how I can grow and become stronger, and that thing changes from a curse to a blessing. A person in my life that really annoys me or frustrates me, I could go from being triggered by them to having empathy for them and seeing why they act the way they do. Maybe they have underlying problems or struggles. Maybe they're depressed or they're anxious. And by having empathy for them or understanding them, I soften up the energy that I'm sending to them, and they will probably treat me differently because I am treating them differently. So if I can do this to anything outside of me, why can't I do it to myself? This is the key to our power, and it is really simple, but it's not easy. It's not easy to shift. Years of conditioning. Our self-perception at this point, it's pretty rigid, especially if we're older. But just simply changing how we view ourselves will transform our entire reality, because our life is only responding to who we think we are. And the key there is think. Who are we actually? We're not any kind of built-up identity that we've adopted from the past, from things that have happened to us. We are not our body. We are not our mind. We are not what we think. But we take everything that our mind tells us as truth. But the real truth is there is separation there. We are the one observing our mind. We are not our mind. We are the consciousness. Again, every single video I'm going to say this. We are the consciousness. We are the witness above our thoughts that is silent and is still. So first, we really got to break the cycle. When I was doing a lot of identity shifting, I had to take a look at what I was thinking in every single moment throughout the day. Every, even really small instance. Was I thinking limiting beliefs? Was I doing something just to please someone else? Was I playing it safe or playing it small? What is the story that I'm constantly telling myself about myself? Am I limiting what I think I can do? Or am I settling for less than what I deserve? What kind of identities have I inherited from my family, how I grew up, society, anything that happened to me in the past that I'm still living out? What kind of patterns am I just unconsciously recreating and replaying from the past? And it's tough though, because our mind wants us to stay the same because it is what we know. It is where we feel safe. And unfortunately, that's just gonna make us suffer and be at a fraction of ourselves. So we gotta start chipping away at it. But the base understanding is that our identity is an illusion, and we can free ourselves from it when we realize that no label is actually us. We are limitless, we are formless, we are pure consciousness. But we still live in physical reality, so we do need some kind of identity to operate in it. We do need some form of ego. We don't want to banish our ego or get rid of it completely, unless we're talking about becoming, an immortal being, which is, I made a video about that last week or the week before. That's an entirely different story. So we got to start chipping away at our very limited and restricted identity, and we have to start taking action in the direction, maybe setting some goals and accomplishing some goals, starting to prove to ourselves that we are worthy to be confident and secure. Because we can stand in front of the mirror and tell ourselves, I am worthy, I can do X, Y, and Z. But if we don't really get down to a subconscious level and change things there, it's just going to be rejected, and our insecurities, whatever else we got, baggage under the surface, will just be magnified that much more. We gotta step out of, here's an analogy, we gotta step out of being the character, step out of being so identified with the character, and become the one who authors the character, who creates the character. And we gotta really sit with ourselves and think, what is the highest version of ourselves? What do we really want to do? What excites us? What are we passionate about? How can we contribute at our best? And so what we're really doing here is we're trying to become a completely integrated, a completely whole, a balanced and neutral being, unified within ourselves, like I also say in every video, but also kind of leaning towards the positive, leaning towards the good. But like the liberation comes in when we stop feeding and we truly let go of any specific identity that we've continued to prop up and perpetuate. We are none of that, and we can really choose to be anything. We start molding and chipping away, and that is like getting to the root of actually shifting our lives. This is the root. We can go on a new diet. We can try to take all this action, but if we haven't really changed ourselves at the root, we're just gonna go right back to that old, outdated self-perception. And it's gonna result in a lot more effortless change and transformation than trying to just will yourself and discipline. Yeah, there's gonna be some discipline involved to go against the habits that are not serving yourself, and to maybe start to get some small wins to just push the needle of that self-identity a little bit in the other direction. But your identity is your biggest limitation. That is it. So hopefully it helped. Let me know what you think. See ya.